my absolute favorite TV show. And so my question is for everyone, on Angel or Buffy, was there anything that happened that you wished was explored a little more? Because like in one episode, Alexis, with when Wesley gets a visit from his father, the father turns out to be a robot, and we never really found out where the robot came from. I got the impression it was something like different from Wolfram and Hart. Like, I guess another question is, where did the robot come from? And again, is there anything you wish were explored or expanded on a little more from either show?
Yeah, that's a good question. Charisma, do you want to kind of start? Is there any part of Cordelia that was left open?
That's really loaded. She would have been great to explore season 5. I didn't want her to die. I welcomed the opportunity to come back to be with my friends and to have Cordelia live on. So when I signed on and agreed to do it, and then found out after I had signed on that we were in fact writing her out, that was one of the contingencies of my returning, was just like, I don't want to come back to kill her, you know, like tell the story, let her live on in some way. And it didn't work out that way. So what was wonderful though, when I did have that meeting in my trailer on the set of Mismatch with Jeffrey, I said, well, if you're going to kill her, tell me how it's done. And then he tells me the story, which you all know, and I was like, wow, that's really good. If you're gonna go, that's the way to go. And it was really, really special. I mean, I'm grateful that I didn't get to come back and see my friends and be a part of it. I think this is the right word, a seminal episode. It meant everything to me to do that. But obviously, Cordelia is a huge part of my life. It was the best role I've ever occupied to date. She's a big part of my life. Like 7 years of playing the same character, it's not lost on a person. So that would be great to continue doing that.
I remember, this is not so much on Angel, but on Buffy, all I wanted was a verb on the call sheet. Now what that means is, like, on the call sheet, it will be a small description of what the scene's about, like Giles finds his teeth, or like Buffy convinces Xander that he shouldn't muck around so much or whatever. And like, never on the call sheet was Spike does anything. Like for an actor, what is my objective? What am I trying to do in the scene? That's what we always try to find, and it wasn't always really in the scene. Because like they put me on Buffy, and I was actually supposed to be the new Cordelia, because they lost Cordelia. So Cordelia is the character to tell Buffy, you're stupid, we're all about to die. And you went over to do that to Angel, and you did it so well. And they needed a new one. And so the only reason that I got on the show as a regular was they needed a new Cordelia. So I was supposed to be that, but they couldn't get me into the room because I would light on fire to get into the room. Like, I came in with a smoking blanket all the time. And so they were like, we had nothing. Joss would always say, I don't know what to do with you. Every season he'd come to my trailer and say, I have nothing. So I just wanted a verb. I'd come in all blocking in Buffy's house, and it'd be early in the morning. I'm like, what do I want? Like, oh, I decided to kill Xander, but I changed my mind.
Spike didn't have a verb, but James kicks ass.
I got a verb for you, Spike stirs shit.
Do you remember one time Xander is like bleeding out in Buffy's house, and all the cast are around gnashing teeth and caring and crying about him, and like we're blocking the scene, and I'm over in the corner like bored. Director comes up to me and goes, you know, James, I know it's early in the morning, but Xander is a series lead. You're a series lead. He's dying. You gotta go care. I know you're tired. You gotta go. I'm like, no, don't care. I'm like, no, you're gonna die. Ask Joss. I don't care at all. Buffy, yes. Dawn, maybe. The rest of them, no. It's just like, what?
Amy, did you have any aspect of, I mean, Illyria was kind of new when everything, you know, shut down. So was there more of her that you would have liked to have explored?
I mean, I liked all of it. I would be happy to revisit any of it. But I do feel like both of my love interests, I didn't get the full experience of either.
You guys all know the story of how they screen tested her? Is that like well known?
No, do tell.
I'll tell.
Come on, Alexis.
Okay, I'll start. Take over. Yeah,
Joss loves Shakespeare.
Joss loves Shakespeare, and he wrote, I think it's on one of the DVDs, he wrote a scene basically from Midsummer Take, kind of a Midsummer Take, that where these guys are under a magic spell, and they come to me, the nerdy girl, and pretend that they are in love with, or think that they're in love with me, and I am like very tormented by this.
Yeah, it was all in poetry. You know, I like my epic pentameter. Joss wrote out an entire Shakespearean love triangle. And we shot it on the set.
And I got to say bosom-me.
You got what?
I got to say I'm not bosom-me like your friend. About you.
Bosom-me?
It's still one of my favorite scenes.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
I would have liked to know what happened to Gunn's parents. And all these years later, I reflect back on the pilot and I wonder, if Gunn was bald, why was he wearing a do-rag?
It's a really valid point.
But guess whose idea the do-rag was? And now when I'm trying to get my waves together, I wear a do-rag. So like, why was he wearing a do-rag if he's bald?
Hi.
Oh, y'all know what waves are. Okay, that's fine.
Hi everyone.
Hi.
So my name is Brian, and I don't know if you heard from backstage, but I'm the one who was singing the questionable rendition of Sesame Street before the show.
No, we came in on Rent, actually.
All right.
Rolling in the
That was
deep.
good stuff. So I wanted to say, I mean, of course, Angel is my favorite show of all time, and you five are probably the most talented actors I've ever seen on TV.
Oh, I agree. Absolutely.
Honestly, you guys, I feel like the five of you could play pretty much any role in anything. But what I want to ask, I guess, is, and I'm sure you've gotten this question in some form before a million times, but if you could have played, or if you had to have played any other role on the show of Angel, of the five of your roles or any other role, gender, sex, race, just completely thrown out the window, just the personality, the essence of the character, who would you have wanted to play the most and why?
I played Joss.
Was it?
Joss Whedon.
Oh, Joss.
That one
So
guy.
you're Numfar.
Did you do the Numfar dance, James?
Can you do it for me?
I don't know.
Oh, yes. Well done.
How about you, Amy?
Ooh, I don't know. What is a good answer to that? I don't know. I think maybe Wesley. I like that. I felt like that character. He got to do so much comedy and drama. It was just like such a great. I wouldn't have done it as well as Alexis, but it would have been fun to just try to be Alexis for a bit.
I'm sure it would have been close. How about you, John? I mean,
It's an interesting question. It does bring up, like, it does. I remember every day at work with this group, just internally going, God damn, they're good. I wish I could do that. I wish I was as good as, I wish I was as funny as her. I wish I had thought of that for that. I mean, I should have had more attention on myself, I guess, when I was doing, right? So I was like, oh, they're so good. So I can't, it would be hard to say that there was one. I was perpetually feeling like these people are nailing it around me. I better bring it. Like, I better figure out something to do because they're so good in this scene.
I feel like that actually really gave to your character of Wesley and his growth, because Wesley was pretty much like that. He was always observing what everybody else was doing and wishing he could do it as well as them or be as apt as them or whatever, you know. Anyway, do you guys have...
I'll answer Lauren just so I can give a shout out to her.
Can you sing?
Yes, he can.
I like Andy. Andy had a voice. Andy was on stage with Patty Bell. Andy can sing. Yeah.
That's awesome. He's the
And I
best.
miss him.
Yes. Yes. Thank you so much. Thank you, Brian. Thank you.
We better,
Yeah, okay.
I think, just out of equity and inclusion, as many questions as, yeah.
Hi guys, nice to finally meet most of all of you. I just wanted to, I totally don't remember my question.
You have great hair.
Well, it's okay.
I actually started bleaching my hair just to cosplay your character like years ago when I first came to meet you, and the look just stuck, and
I'm sorry, you've been doing that for years?
yes. Oh, it's amazing. It's been like 5 years, I can't like stop it, it just looks so good. But I feel follow you guys like in everything else you guys do. I remember when you were on Runaways, I actually took a shot every time we were on screen.
She's
But-
dedicated to you.
Did you ever get drunk?
Oh, no.
Probably not. Okay.
Anyways, favorite off-screen moment. That's what it was. Random.
I guess behind the scenes,
Yeah.
or maybe even years later at an event. Do any of you guys have any standout moments amongst each other?
I liked yesterday actually. We were all sitting on a couch backstage and this woman came up and she was like, I don't know who any of you are, but why do you like each other so much?
Seemed like a tight-knit group. That's what 20 years will do.
I just remember, like, never feeling so more embarrassed to be an actor, because they're always like, would you like to sit down, sir? There's a tea, sir. And I remember on the puppet episode, the dichotomy between how hard it is to be a stuntman and how easy it is to be an actor was never more apparent, because, like, in the scene, Angel Puppet punches Spike, and Spike just flies 18 feet up in the air. And we're shooting on a soundstage which is concrete, and so Steve Tartaglia was the other Spike, he was stunt Spike, and they were ratcheting him up 18 feet in the air and just dead dropping him down in the thing. So they did it once, right? And they dropped him, and Steve is like twitching and laughing, and I'm just sitting in a chair, and the director nods to me, and I go over, and Steve can't move until I get there to assume the same position, and then I just lay down on the ground. Carry Steve out, and he's like, good luck, buddy. And I just felt like, oh man, like that, like, oh, no wonder people hate it.
He was reminding us upstairs of the night that a friendly Angelino poured a cup of urine over us in the alleyway of downtown. And it's kind of a metaphor for, what it is to work on a vampire show. It's like, they look really great and it seems super cool, but in reality, they just run over us over and over. And then what we do is look up, did you get it? Okay, no, do it again. Back up, right on over me. And I don't know why we're like that, but when you are like that and you find kindred spirits who are the same, and then the truck is running over all of you, somehow it feels even better.
I remember when we were doing Waiting in the Wings, Joss was directing, and my fondest off-screen moment is sitting in Alexis's trailer playing Boggle with these guys at lunch. And I remember even in that moment thinking, this is bliss.
Thank you so much.
Hey, I have to interrupt. No, good question. But completely off topic. I'm really self-conscious right now because I'm not wearing my wedding band, and in case I want my wife to know that I was working in Atlanta, and when I'm on camera, that character, it's in my backpack. This is fascinating, but I've been really like very tuned into this finger while we've been having this whole conversation. So I just want to say, honey, I love you, and I have my ring, and I will put it on. So.
Duly noted.
Good man.